rookie in. Tell you what, that's what you look for in a quarterback. When it's been tough all day long and you have Chase at the 40. Look at Chase go! Oh my goodness, what a year he just found. Chase for a touchdown. Wow, Chase is on the kick. Chase, there is no Chase. It's a touchdown. Nobody's going to catch him in the open field. 69 yards.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tigress Talk Season 2 officially. The girls are back in town. We're all together again. Thanks, everybody, for watching. This is Tigress Talk. I am Jess, a.k.a. Hube, joined as always by Kayla, Whitney, and Jerry. Whitney and Jerry holding it down in Florida. Kayla representing Northern Kentucky for us. Ladies, how are we? Did you see last week my husband was in a wig? I don't know if anyone saw that.
Wait, that was your husband?
I know. It didn't even look like him. He was in such a good disguise. I know.
No, that was awesome. That was fantastic.
Needless to say, I'm glad you guys are back. And I am super excited because we have a guest today. We have our first ever guest on Tigress Talk. This is a historic moment for us. So we are going to be joined by the lovely Bridget. So let's bring Bridget in here. Hi, Bridget.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm so excited to be with all of you.
Thanks so much for doing this. You've probably done a lot of like really nice professional podcast shows, whatever you want to call them. This is not that show. So
Does anyone know? I'm on the podcast with the puppets. No.
I know. I love that. I love it when they call it the puppet show. And I know it's called, sorry if I spit when I speak. I know the name of it, but I call it the puppet show because everyone knows what the puppet show is with Daddy-O and Hoji so yeah. But
yeah, no, this is fun production value. I mean, Believe does a great job with us, but this is like sophisticated and we don't have to like file complaints against Daddy-O. So this is great.
I use the word sophisticated, but we're going to roll with that.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming. If for those of you who don't know, Bridget was at the draft in Vegas and she got to announce a pick. So Bridget, just tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Well, first of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. That happens a lot on the show too. I forget what I'm saying halfway through and I get ahead of myself. But tell us a little bit about yourself because your story to Bengals fandom is kind of unique, right?
Yeah. So I was telling Jess this through Twitter message. And so I'm always like hesitant to tell Bengals fans that I'm not a Cincinnati native. I'm actually from Michigan. And so my season tickets are in section 156. And when we tell people we're from Michigan, they're always like, oh my God, like Ohio State. And I'm like, no, we're nice Michigan people. But I moved to Cincinnati like 9 years ago. So I work for a national nonprofit called Strive Together that's located downtown. And we're focused on economic mobility for kids and families of color, kids and families experiencing poverty. So I've been in Cincinnati, it's nearing on a decade. And when I moved down here, like I literally knew no one. I had graduated with grad school with a social work degree. All I wanted to do was this kind of work. I got this job. I'm like, here I come. But I didn't know anyone. And so like within my first or second week living here, I lived over on 4th and Race downtown. Someone was like, you need to go. I think it was a preseason game. I want to say it was August. It could have been early September. In my head, it's a preseason game. And I went. I feel like the ticket was like $20. And I was hooked. Like I'd always loved professional sports. I was a Pistons fan. like in 2004, 2005. But there was just something about the Bengals community, about being in the jungle that just like swept me in. And I think I got season tickets the next year and I've never looked back. And so it's been, I mean, y'all know it's been a rough few years. The last 7 years as a Bengals fan. But it's just been really cool to be part of this community. When you move to a new city and you don't know if it's ever going to feel like home, I feel like being able to be part of this, being part of the Houday Nation really made Cincinnati feel like home. And so I feel like I'm ride or die Bengals now forever. But that's how I got into it. I live like 10 minutes from the stadium. So I also, like, even though I'm from Michigan, I hate winter and I don't like cold. So I'm like, football season also gives me something to look forward to when my beloved summer starts to fade away.
I love that. I love that so much. And the thing I told Bridget when she told me this over DMs this morning is that I love those kinds of stories. There's nothing that I love more than going overseas and talking to Bengals fans who have never even been to Cincinnati, because I was literally born at Christ Hospital, not far from the stadium. I feel like, the day after I was born, we lost to the Steelers. I feel like this has been my life since I was a child. And so the people who actually chose this when they could have chosen anything, especially the people overseas, like those guys in London and Italy and Spain and everywhere, there's Bengals fans everywhere. They chose the Bengals, and that's just so precious to me. And I just love that, because I'm like, you could have picked a winner. Like, you could have picked somebody better.
I will say I was able to go to the Super Bowl in 2006. It was in Detroit, and this sounds obnoxious. I got free tickets to the Super Bowl. It was the Steelers Seahawks, and no one wanted to go. It was in Detroit, and I didn't know that much about the NFL, but I remember being there, and it was like 96% Steelers fans, and there were I didn't know anything about Steelers fans, but I
you learned real quick, didn't you?
I had all these terrible towels in my face, and I vowed,
so
when I
sorry.
went, I was like, this is going to be a cool Rolling Stones concert, like bookended by football on either side.
Right.
But I vowed then and there, I was like, I do not like the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I feel like there's like the tapestry of Bengals fandom, like that was the first thread woven in.
That's beautiful. I love that so much. That's great. Well, we're so glad that you're a Bengals fan. You do an awesome job representing us. You represented us in Vegas. Tell us about the draft and what that was like.
So that was super wild. So each team got to pick a season ticket member to send to have this like really, really wild experience. And it started, and this is actually probably one of my highlights. On the night before the draft, we had this reception for all of the season ticket holders that were there, and we each got to bring a guest. And it was really cool to be in community with other fans. They sat us by division, which I was like, oh, do you want to fight to break out?
Yeah, they did the same thing in Nashville. We were right behind the Browns people, and there was literally almost a fight.
Okay. So I'm like, but like, all of the fans at this reception were super lovely. I think everybody was just really happy to be there. There was free food and an open bar that just kept flowing. So like, everybody's happy. But we were sitting there, we're kind of getting all the rules for what the days are going to be. And I kind of look across, we're at the grand patio at the Bellagio. So it's just like, It's 90 degrees out. It's lovely. And all of a sudden I am like, is that the commissioner? Is he like, because this is like his, aside from the Super Bowl, I'm like, this is his like big event. And he came and he spent probably 45 minutes with us the night before. He did a little panel and then opened it up for questions. And I got to ask him, this feels like the appropriate forum for this. I was like, what am I going to ask him? And I wanted to ask him about where he sees the role of women and women leading in the league and on the sidelines. And I think he had a fairly standard, I'm sure his comms or press person has briefed him on how to answer that. But at the end of the day, he said a woman can do any job in the NFL. And I think that's true. And that was one of the highlights. And Bengals fans should know the minute, like I asked my question, I had to say, I'm Bridget, Cincinnati Bengals fan. First thing he said was, oh my God, like the Bengals had the best season. He didn't say that to any other fan who said their team. And then we got to get up and do a photo op and chat with him. And he just had the best things to say about the Bengals. And then I was running into other NFL staff and they were talking about the Blackburns and our leadership. And I mean, the Bengals are well loved. So it was really special to be there and just kind of feel that love from other fans and even folks who work in the league.
That's an amazing story.
That's really awesome. I love
it.
that. Kayla, do you want to ask one of your questions to Bridget here?
Yeah. So what do you think of the draft class overall, and who are you most excited about?
So I thought we did great with our draft class. So I'm going to be really honest. I said this on my show on Tuesday night. I didn't think the draft class overall was that exciting in general. I was happy to go to Vegas. I was a little bit bummed because I was like, I don't know that we've got a ton of superstars in this class. Yeah. It's cool to see Aiden Hutchinson go and cool to see him go to the Lions, to Michigan connections. But I thought we did great. I thought we were really strategic. I thought we made the best use of our picks. I thought we were strategic in trading up where we needed to. I will say also, you should have seen the Steelers fans in the inner circle when they picked Pickett. It was just
were they pissed?
Twiddling their thumbs, everybody else, every pick, just cheering half the time, right? You don't especially in, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, a lot of times you don't even know who these people are and everyone's still cheering or or drinking, yay, there's cameras. That pick, I mean, we're seeded in division, so we're all laughing at them because we're beggars.
I cackled when they made that pick. I laughed so hard, and I was pretty comfy with my drinks I had at that point, but I laughed so hard. And then that video, I retweeted it. I think Tyler tweeted it out from TikTok, but the guy, he's like, I don't want Kenny Pickett, and he throws his tantrum. Yeah, he's like, we got money making Mitch, and I'm like, what? There's the delusion. Oh God, but I love seeing them cry. I love it. I love it so much.
And I will say, I think Dax Hill is a perfect, he was the first round pick to take. I think he's going to have strong production. He had 13 touchdowns, 18 fumble recoveries, 18 picks, something like that. Wow. I think he's going to be a bit of a star. He's also, I know this is probably not progressive. He's not bad to look at either. We can just, I think it's fair to.
Yeah, I love his smile.
Yeah.
He's a handsome man.
Right. Whitney, does he pass the mom test? Is your mom?
I will ask her and report back.
You gotta ask your mom.
Probably.
Whitney's mom, Pam, has several crushes, including Hayden Hurst recently.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we're going to get into all the draft stuff, but I think that for where we were picking and what we were doing, I think we did a good job with what we had to work with, again, not a whole lot. Oh, here we go. Heck yeah. All right. Mom approved. Mom approved.
God, Mom.
Dax, like him. I love it. Whitney, did you have a question for Bridget?
Well, yes, I was just kind of curious as far as the behind the scenes when you were at the draft, is there anything that kind of caught your eye? If there was one thing you could steal that you found behind the scenes at the draft and take home with you, what would it be?
Well, this is not super exciting. They had a table full of signed everything that they were giving away in the audience. So they had a bunch of Super Bowl signed balls, but I was like, where's the number 2 team signed ball? Like, I don't want the LA Rams. So they were like doing trivia and things, and people were calling me a sore loser because they were like, oh, who like wants to stand up, like jump up, you could get picked for that ball. I'm like, I don't want that ball. Like, I'm throwing that ball in the trash. But there were really, really cool signed memorabilia. There was I've got a tiny version of like this little 2022 draft helmet, which is like beautiful purple and teal. And
Oh yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
and like if I had a football team, those would be the colors. And there were like huge full-size versions of the helmet. That was like what I would have stolen. But then being in the Nike jersey room was also really cool to see them press the jerseys. So everybody got to, at least everybody who had a first round pick in this like VIP experience thing, got to go back a few picks before they were announced. And so I was in there, I was kind of betting with the jersey pressers. I thought we were going to take Karlaftis. And so I was like, oh, we're going to take Karlaftis, like get the name out, get ready to press it. And then they announced Kansas City was taking it. So that was kind of cool too, to be back, because there's a whole infrastructure back there and a loudspeaker system where you can hear all the picks being named, probably 2 picks or so before they're actually televised, and they confiscate your phone. So you don't get to like capture any of that.
But that's really cool though. I had no idea that that's how they did that.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. I mean, they couldn't possibly have these all made up ahead of time. Like there's things happen, you know, people jump up, jump down, you know, whatever. But that's really cool. I had no idea.
I didn't either. I always wonder, I'm like, how do they get these jerseys ready so fast? Like, how do they know?
Yeah.
And yeah.
I just assumed it was magic. Like there were probably elves involved or something like that.
That's cool.
Well, that is awesome. Who else has a question for Bridget? Jerry, do you have a question you want to ask?
Sure. So besides announcing the pick, what was your favorite memory from that weekend?
So, okay, I think so announcing the pick was super cool, but for the first round, I got to, and I don't think they televised any of this, because as soon as Goodell announced Dax Hill's pick, I assume on TV it went to a stream of him and his family wherever he was. But
I don't remember.
I'm gonna assume that's what they did. I'm really sure they didn't show me like waving a jersey around on stage. I'm gonna be like really confident that did not make broadcast. So I think Kansas City drafted Karlaftis right before we did. So I was standing in the wings, waiting, you know, for Goodell to announce our pick. And so he comes out after announcing Kansas City's, and he's like, oh, are you excited about your pick? And I'm like, yeah, it's a dude from Michigan. Like, I'm a Michigan girl. I'm here for that. And he's like, wait, they haven't told me who we're picking. And I was like, well, then, like, you better go figure that out. Like, you got to come back out there. And so he, like, runs into a room and gets the card.
That's amazing.
And he was really, like, I kind of thought he might not be super personable. And he was so kind. And Goodell had a really special way of making, like, everybody feel like they were really important and would just have one-on-one conversations. So when we were waiting to go out, he's like, are you nervous? And I'm like, nah, kind of ham. And I like dig the spotlight. So he goes and reads the pick. I bring the jersey out, and then he's like, okay, like, you got to go show it off to the Bengals fans. And that just felt like a really cool moment to just like laser in on our fans. So I'm hamming it up. But on the way back, the Rams fans who were in the front row started talking smack, doing the like ring thing. And something just came over me. And I was like, oh, what? And I was like, we'll see you again next year. So I have a video of it I posted on like my Twitter, and I stop at the podium on the way out to like, I'm like, I have to defend our honor. And I don't think anyone can see it in the video, but Goodell starts cracking up and he's like, you're super comfortable up here, and we probably need to get you off. And so that was just like one of my favorite memories. But I was like, I will fight these Rams fans on the stage. I don't even care.
That's awesome. I think are you guys hearing this? Are we getting some weird feedback stuff going
Yeah,
on?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm like, is that?
It might
me-
be me. Hold on.
Live shows, always
Aw.
fun. It's definitely Jerry. Okay. Okay. We'll let her come back. So I'm so sorry, Bridget. That was kind of distracting from your story. But anyway, so recap, the LA fans were being obnoxious. And then what was your response exactly?
I just was like, I stopped and I was like, we will see you. Like, I think I said like same place time next year, and I was like, that's really stupid because the Super Bowl is not in the same place. But I was like, I'm just really heated.
That's so like a me comeback, like, huh, that didn't make any sense. It doesn't matter.
It's a sentiment.
like a schoolyard, and I'm just gonna like defend our honor. But I was like, I can't believe you, like, you won. Come on, like, did you deserve to
like, have
win?
some
Should
class.
you have
Like, it's
won?
weird.
No, but
So
Weird.
I'm so glad you told about Goodell, because that was going to be one of my questions, like what he was really like in person. But then my other question, which maybe you just answered, was going to be like, by and large, who do you think was the best fan base besides the Bengals during draft weekend, and the worst or most obnoxious fan base?
so the Steelers were just everywhere. And I know, like, with the steel industry, right, and in the 70s, with that, like, really being depressed and people moving out from, like, the Rust Belt, I understand, like, why, but they just were everywhere. And that's really, really annoying. I mean, as a Bengals fan, it's annoying. Aside from that one incident, the Rams fans were generally cool. I'm going to say something that I think Bengals fans are really going to not enjoy. In my little like group, because we were almost like herded around like a cohort, the Browns fans were great.
Oh, good. No, that's good. Honestly, most of the Browns fans, not including people on Twitter and people who bark at me from, behind where I'm sitting, I've never had a problem with Browns fans until like very recently, and just from them being annoying. Let's see if Jerry has gotten her stuff together.
And I will say the Lions fans are always great. Lions fans are great when
I love
they
Lions
go.
fans. Did you? I actually saw some of the Lions fans over there, and some of those guys are like, I consider them my close personal friends. I love those Lions fans that you're around. Jerry, are you back with us? Are we doing okay?
I think so. Is this better?
With the corded headphones.
Yes. Apparently, my fully charged iPod or whatever those things are called, just decided to crap out on me. So. Gotta love
you
that
sound great. I can hear you loud and clear. So
sorry about that, guys.
But yeah, Bridget, that's really cool that you say that about Roger Goodell, because when we did the 2020 draft from home, we did a lot of like, like prep work stuff. Like and it's funny because they were always like, make sure you guys boo the commissioner. He really loves getting booed by the fans. That's like his favorite thing on draft night is getting booed by the fans. So like, make sure that you guys boo really loudly when the commissioner comes on. And so I kind of thought that was funny, because I'm like, I wouldn't want to be booed, but he just like totally owns it, and it's just, like that's his thing. So. Dale says, welcome back, ladies. Who day? Did Roger have his chair and some M&Ms in the back?
I didn't see any M&Ms. I actually never saw him sit down either, because the first Thursday night he was up, he's just back and forth. And they didn't like keep me back there long enough to see where he really got to hang out. And then on Saturday when we chatted, which was like 9 a.m., 8 a.m., I don't know, whatever ungodly hour it started Pacific time. I feel like he was there early and then he bounced, I think. Or maybe he was back somewhere and we didn't see him, but he seemed to like be there early and then
So the chair was not part of the draft like it was last, because I remember last year they brought the chair on stage because that was a big thing in the 2020 draft. It was all from his easy chair at home, and I felt like as the night went on, he was just like slumping more and more in his easy chair. So they kind of made that part of the 2021 draft as kind of a joke. So that wasn't part of the shenanigans.
No chair, no comfiness, no comfiness.
Gotcha.
He looked like he needed to see his chiropractor the next day. That dude got like he got picked up, he got thrown away.
I know.
Yeah.
Body slammed at one point, I think.
Someone asked him at the reception, like, what's your favorite thing about the draft? And he's like, I really like the hug. And he talked about how it had originated with whatever year it was. One of the players, or one of the draftees and future players, his mom had passed away really recently and had just needed the hug. And Roger was like, I'm just like here for it. And that was a really special moment. And my cat's coming and she's probably going to make an entrance.
Good. We love animals.
She knows when cameras are on. And so people were asking, like, how do you feel about the hug? And he's like, I'm going to be really honest. My biggest thing is just trying to not get hurt. He's like, those are all big dudes. Yeah. And I'm not young anymore. And I just am like steeling myself and say, like, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. So yeah, those are intense hugs.
That's crazy.
I want him as a joke, like the next day or at the very end of the night, to come out in like a fake full body cast or
like a neck brace after getting picked up. That'd be hilarious.
Do you have a current favorite Bengal on the team right now? And who's your favorite of all time?
Okay, favorite of all time is Giovanni Bernard. I just thought he was a great dude. And I went to see, was it? Yeah, there's the cat. Her name is Matilda, and she just thinks she's a star. I'll take her collar off so we don't hear the bell. I just thought Giovanni was a great player and a great guy for Cincinnati. And then I went to Baltimore. It must have been 2019 to see the Bengals play the Ravens, and I was wearing my Gio jersey, and he had like waved to me during warmups, and I was like, he saw me. And then before running back in the tunnel, he made sure to come over and like throw me his glove, and he stole my heart. So I feel like Gio is probably one of my all-time favorites, and current is really, really hard. I think I've got to go. Can I pick a current? So on offense, it's Jamar. And on defense, it's Mike Hilton.
It's so hard to
Great
pick,
choices,
though,
yeah.
honestly. Those are good choices, though. I have to agree. I don't know if I could pick a favorite if you asked me, but yeah, that's awesome.
That's the beauty of the Bengals right now, though, right? Is like
they're so likable.
The team. It's the team that's special. And that's what I'm looking forward to this season, is seeing if we can maintain that. Like, we don't need the superstars and the big names. We need the unit. And like, that's part of that community that I love about them. And I'm like, I just want to like them all. And I do. And it feels different. Like the 2015, 2016 days where I'm like, I don't know if I like all of you quite as much.
Yeah. I feel like my favorite forever was Carlos Dunlap, and then he left, and then I was like so sad about that. But now it's like, I love all these guys so much. I think they're so great. I think our defense is so special. I think our offense is just, those guys are just so selfless, and they really just play for each other. So I think it's so hard to pick a favorite, but
yeah,
I agree.
It's really easy to root for, and you can kind of see it spilling over into the like national media, but then also you can see our fan base kind of growing, because it's just too easy to be fans of like all the individual guys, but then you put them all together and it makes for like just a fun, exciting team to root for. And I feel like we're also weirdly wholesome as far as football standards go. Like it just seems like a good time in that locker room, like a fun time, and good guys doing good things outside the locker room. I love them all. You can really throw a dart at the board about who your favorite players are gonna be, no matter who it lands on.
They're all my favorite. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, our friend Greg has a question for Bridget. It says, what was everyone's reaction to Marty Daniels announcing the Vikings second round pick who went on talking for like ever? I think that was Ed Marinero or whatever his name was. But anyway, doesn't matter who it was. But yes, that guy, the man. Were people like, what is happening? Because that's what I was saying in my house. I was like, what is happening? I think I tweeted, read the name, old man, because I was literally like, what is going on?
It was like awkward in the theater because everyone was like silent, but also like I really think there was an occasional like, shut up, or like, come
seriously?
on. Yeah. I mean, at that juncture, people had been drinking a lot. And
my favorite was the stage lady coming out like, "Read the name, baby. Read the name."
There was another one that went. He played for the Cowboys, and he went on, and it might have been on day 3, and they may not have televised it. I can't remember if it was day 2 or day 3, but he was long-winded.
He was like, if he got away with it, so can I. I was waiting for Ed to come back out there and be like, oh, where was I? Or something like that. Start going all over again. Hey, you give people a stage and a microphone, there's no telling what you're going to get.
That's true.
I was wondering how much I might be able to say when I read the pick before, like, because they give you the little card.
Yeah, you have it.
Actually, like, the pick I read was a traded pick. So they literally give you the card that's like the 166th pick, which also, what a cruel number. I'm like 166, and I have to say it twice. Like, that's, you can give me like 140th. Like, I can say that. Yeah. Well, and then I stutter on mine because I like panicked, and I'm like, I don't know how to say the year. I'm like, do I say 2022 or do I say 2022? So I sound like I don't know how to read numbers.
I really don't, though. That would be a hard job for me.
I was like looking at these, and I'm like, I'm not sure. And the stage lady who came and like hooked him off is rehearsing them with you in the wings.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, well, it is, but she's like, Tyson Anderson, or I'm like, I got it. Tyson, I got it. I'm good. And like Cincinnati Bengal, I can say all of it. Like Toledo DB, I'm like defensive. Yep, got it.
That would annoy me.
I'm like, I
feel like spell Cincinnati. I dare
exactly.
you. Yeah, exactly. The Wall Street Journal couldn't do it. Can you?
Neither can neither can the people who sew Aaron Andrews' clothes, apparently. But it's another story. But
there is. So I was just wondering, like, if I say something not on this card, do I get in trouble? And I did say stuff not on the card, and I was fine.
What all did you say? I apologize. I probably should have looked for this, but it wasn't on TV, the pick that you announced. But did you have somebody like record it for you? Or?
So I think it's on the Bengals website.
Oh, good. I'm sure. I figured it probably was. I should have looked at that before right now, but I will definitely look at that. What all did you say though? Guys, I would have given out a hooday for sure.
So I had been screaming. So I sound like I smoke 2 packs a day. My voice is like, and with the 160. I said, what did I say? Something like "Welcome to the jungle."
Oh yeah,
that's you in the Queen City. Hooday, something like that.
Oh, I love that. Oh, nailed it. I love it. Perfect. That is awesome.
I'll have to find the link and add it to.
Yeah, we'll link it in the description.
Yeah.
Somebody remind me. I'm really bad about remembering to do that. Any other questions for Bridget?
So I locked out of my document.
Okay,
when we were having feedback issues, I was closing every tab.
Was Goodell taller or shorter than you expected? How tall was he?
He's not exceptionally tall. I feel like he's just like really average. I know that's not a like super compelling answer, but he's just really average.
Gotcha.
Do you have like a favorite Bengals item personally?
Favorite article
of possession?
So there's the Geo glove,
Oh, yeah.
But we'll go with,
This is the show and tell portion.
We love show and tell.
We
Yeah.
do.
I
So
should have
it's
told
my-
you that, Bridget, that we like show and tell. I'm sorry.
Well, perfect. Like, it's great I have my shrine. So this was my little seasonal shrine that I feel like was my best of luck. It's my Joe Burrow helmet, my Jamar Chase helmet,
Wow.
and my T. Higgins
Oh.
helmet.
Wow.
So these are,
Jealous.
it's my little trifecta.
Did
And I
you bu-
literally would like create a little shrine to
Yeah.
them, especially in the
amazing.
postseason.
Did you buy those like that, or did you have them signed somehow, or
Bought them.
bought them like that? That's great. No, I
I
love
want
that.
to have a cool story, but
No, that's awesome. I feel like anymore with them not doing any of the charity events and, you know, training camp being hard to, you know, they only did the one event last year and there was no autograph. So I feel like it's hard to get stuff signed in person anymore. So, oh, Caleb added our link for us. There's the video link of the pic. Okay.
oh,
I
thanks.
assume there will be somewhere. We will figure that out later. Thank you, Caleb. I appreciate you. Well, tell us about your shows and everything that you got coming up as far as your, you know, what it is that you do with Sorry If I Spit When I Speak and things like that.
Yeah, so we call it now the #1 Bengals podcast on Believe because we are 100% not the #1 rated Bengals podcast, and we think that's because of Daddy-O. But I joined that 2 or 3 months ago. I essentially am HR to keep the puppets in line.
Oh my
But
gosh.
that's been a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone knows or follows John Sheeran, but he's like a football, just NFL genius. And so I sit there and I'm just like, I'm going to get this encyclopedia knowledge. So we are every Tuesday at like 7:30 Eastern. And so that's been super fun to just engage more with the Bengals community because I used to travel a ton for my day job and was never that connected to anything. And so the pandemic really forced me to like be in Cincinnati. I live in the Columbia Tusculum neighborhood. And so now I'm like feeling like I'm part of this, you know, bigger Cincinnati community and feeling more present in the Bengals community. So that's the show. We're thinking about how to tell more stories about the way the Bengals and kind of having a professional sports team in communities bring people together, especially across differences. So we're trying to figure out a few ways to tell those stories and what it'll look like to do some videography and ethnography with those. So that's still a long ways off, but I'm trying to sketch out what that could look like.
Well, that is awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today and telling us all about your amazing experience in Vegas. Tell everybody where they can follow you and where they can find all the shows and everything.
Yeah, so first off, thank you so much for having me. I have been a huge fan of all of you and like follow all of you on Twitter. So it feels really cool to actually be able to be here with you. And I hope I'll get to see you all in person this season. You can follow me on Twitter at Bridget Jancarz. Not super easy to spell, but it's there. You can find it. And then we are DNH Sports on YouTube and the #1 Bengals podcast on Believe. That's BLEAV.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Thank you again for your time tonight. And we appreciate you coming on the show. So thanks a lot.
so much. Have a great night.
Thanks. You too. All right. First ever guest in the books. I love it.
Guys,
Awesome.
I don't think we screwed that up too bad.
You don't think so?
I did.
Okay.
Other than Jerry.
No.
That's fine. I'm kidding, Jerry.
No, it's always me.
I was like, Kath was like, you got to mute somebody. And I was like, how do I do that? I can
I'm
mute
sorry,
myself.
I knew I wasn't the
I
only
can
one.
remove people.
I could see, like a little twinge of panic in your eyeballs, Jess. Like,
I
was like, am I the only one hearing this? Like, what is that?
Well, I felt like my volume just went down, and then I saw everybody's face started like something is wrong. And I'm like, oh,
I
this
do
is
not have a good
absolutely
poker
me.
face.
Oh no, it was Whitney first because she was just like, "What is happening?"
Well, I started messing with my headphones because I thought it was just in my head at first.
I'm sorry. I'll get my life together one of these days.
It happens. All right. Well, I think that was pretty darn successful. Thank you, everybody who is here live in the comments. We've got Dalton. He says, "Hooday, yay, I'm catching the show live. We're so glad you're here, Dalton." And Dale and Ross says, "Hooday, baby. Woo." And then Ross said, "Terrible towels were great for lighting the bonfire. I have to agree. You know, shining shoes, picking up dog poop. The uses are endless." And then Dale says, "You did awesome. She was great." Yes, she was great. I knew she'd be great. So that was awesome. But Dale says, "As a representative of Bengals and Brews, what are we drinking tonight, ladies? My wife is currently drinking watermelon Monaco, and I have my ice cold Miller Lite. I don't know what a watermelon Monaco is, but it sounds like something I would enjoy. But I'm currently drinking my very favorite Brimminghorn Freya's Kiss is what I'm drinking currently."
I just finished off my bottle of the banana one from Brimminghorn.
So delicious.
It was so good. I'm sorry you can't have any, but it was really good.
I want to hear how delicious it was.
Oh,
I love that.
Perfect. Yeah, if you love
Kat is
banana
handing me
flavor.
this one. So I had to buy this one just because mostly because I'm inappropriate, but also because I love the wax that they did on it. And this is called Slow, Deep, and Hard. And that made me giggle because I'm a 12-year-old boy at heart. But this is like one of their new limited ones. They did it for what was the name of that rock star? What was the name of the rock star? I don't remember. Anyway, they did it in his honor, and I think it's awesome. I haven't even opened it yet because I'm like saving it because I'm a hoarder, but it's clearly been in the refrigerator. But yeah, I'm excited for that one too. But anyway.
So I haven't opened my King of the North.
Oh no, I'm never opening that.
Like in a display.
No, it's like it's in a shrine. We're just got a shrine. I've got like a lot of shrines. But what are you drinking? Wit? Anything?
A refreshing Coke Zero because I just like scarfed dinner down right before I logged in. So.
I also drank Chinese food, so I also have my very large water.
Nice.
I ate Chinese food, so I'm drinking a lot of water. Anyway, thanks, Dale, for being here. Mary's here. He said, "So cool to feature a guest on the show. Loved it." I'm just glad someone agreed to come on our show.
Yeah.
So now I can be like, we've totally had guests before. Of course we have. But anyhow,
what a way to kick off season 2.
Heck yeah. We're doing it bigger in season 2. Season 1 was like an experiment. See, we've gotten better at things. I say like, and like maybe half the time as I did before, which was like every other word, but clearly not a professional, but that's okay. So let's get into the draft recap. What did you guys think? I know we talked a little bit about it with Bridget. I know a lot of people were really underwhelmed. I was listening to Locked On, and they were talking about how, I think somebody gave us an A, somebody gave us a D. Basically, it doesn't mean diddly squat. So I don't know. What did you guys think of it?
I felt like what a draft class for us to, be picking so far back. I thought we were kind of lucky about that because the last 2 years, we've been really very successful. So I was kind of happy about that this year.
It's like the universe just aligned perfectly to give us those awesome picks early. And then, our roster was so, complete almost that it didn't really matter that this draft class was a little lacking, but
that's a great point.
So, well, we got some responses to our tweet we put out there. So Bengals and Bourbon is our friend Matt. He gave us a B+. Okay. Bengals and Brews said, "I give it a 10. A 10. He did the GIF from, what is that verse? And then our friend Greg Luther said B+, the way to describe it, speed and versatility. Yep, I'm going to get into that here in a little bit. Kelsey did a very, very weird looking man making a B with his body. So thank you, Kelsey. A B. Hooday_88 gave us a B. Haram Day gave us a solid B. John Ashbrook gave us a C+, and Hello World said B-. And you know what? I feel like the letter grades are weird because I don't even know, what any of that means. I don't like. Is it an A? Is it a D? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard to get some people to say anything more than a B at this point in the season because we didn't get any of those flashy, like big names picks
Right.
because
Yeah.
of where we were picking. But I think for where we were picking, as much as you can tell, I don't have Jerry's crystal ball, but it feels like we got a lot of value and a lot of like potentially very good fits. Like, and Lou's probably, he would
Over
probably
the
be
moon.
smiling still like
Yeah.
to this day and excited to get his hands on some of those guys. So I think we did a really killer job.
Yeah, and I've seen like some people had Dax Hill like rated in the top 10 as far as the rankings. So the fact that we got him that late is just incredible. And I love the guys that we traded up for. I'm very happy with what we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to an event on Monday night with the Houday ladies where Dan Horde and Dave Lapham were talking about the picks. And so I took some notes. So I'm going to read some of my notes that I wrote. Dave Lapham said, quote, unquote, no turds. We did not take any turds. So that was good.
That's the brown job. Go ahead. Sorry.
Dan Horde said, if you can run a 4.4, that's good. Okay. 4.4, good. And we drafted 2 guys that can run faster than a 4.4. So we got a lot of really fast guys. Our team got speedier. And he said the 3 words that he would use to describe it. I know Greg says speed and versatility. He said speed, if I can't talk, speed, smarts, and character. So I thought that was pretty cool. I guess the guy that we got from Toledo had a 4.6 GPA in high school, which is amazing.
Possible.
I don't know. Like, I didn't even hardly go to high school. I don't think. Like, I just like skated on by high school, and people are out here getting a 4.6. So okay. Let's see what else we got. Oh, special teams. That's Tyson Anderson. Yeah. So he was his high school valedictorian. This is the fastest guy on the team. Fastest guy. I don't know. I don't think he was the fastest guy in the draft. I wrote fastest. So I don't know what the context was there, but he's going to be special on special teams. But anyway, I thought it was a great class. I thought that for what we had to work with and what our needs were, I feel like we got really good guys. So I'm happy with everybody that we got.
Yeah, I was thinking of you, Jess, during the draft. I was like, wow, we've gone so many defensive pieces in a row. Jess has got to be so excited.
I wasn't even wearing my defense chain, but I should have been. Yeah, I love it. I love it.
I think too, so I told you guys, like I texted you guys that before the draft, like I was just preparing to fall in love full on with anybody that we picked, didn't matter who. But again, it's easy again because what you just said, just like those words like speed, but also what was it, character and smarts. Like, isn't that starting to become like the trademark of how we identify new players on the team? Like, I feel like since the Taylor era and all the guys that's included in that, I'm not just pointing him out. That's who we've gone for. It's not just about your skill, it's about your character, it's about your work ethic and your IQ, your football IQ. And I'm loving it. I think that's another reason why it's so easy to fall in love with everybody on our team and so easy to root for them. So
yeah, and we talked last year about, who could we get in free agency? And I think one of the big things that we all kind of agreed on was that we didn't want to get anyone that was going to kind of mess up what we had going on in the locker room. And that was even maybe more important than what they brought as far as their physical football talent, not being able to, not to upset our apple cart, what we have going on in the locker room, which I think is very special and very unique, honestly, to the Bengals. So I think that was something that they considered.
Yeah. I just love that they care about the immeasurables, know, and prioritize them. It's awesome.
Yeah. Greg says Mel Kiper was just shocked Hill was there at 31. Yeah. I think a lot of people, I know James Rapine really wanted Hill and didn't think that he would fall to 31. So, there were a lot of guys we wanted that we kind of thought were going to fall, and he was one of them, and it just so happened to not fall. So I thought that was great.
It gives me a little bit of chills because whenever I think about that, I think about T. Higgins first because we never expected him to be there in the second round when we picked.
Yeah. And how great has he been? Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, 100%. I'll never forget when T. Higgins was drafted because my dad jumped up from the couch and said, "We got T. Higgins!" He was so excited. It was a bigger reaction than I think.
Your dad's the best. Yeah,
this is the best.
That is great. Well, anybody else have anything else about the draft?
I love it, and I'm excited. I can't wait for
I know. I'm excited for some of these position battles. I'm excited. We're going to have like a long snapper position battle. We're going to have a punting position battle. I mean, all these guys that we got in the draft, and then plus free agency, all the Chanticleers that we got from Coastal Carolina. We got a lot of those guys. So I'm excited for some of these battles to shake out at camp. So I'm just excited for the whole darn thing to get started here. So.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have any conspiracy theories? Should I play it? I have one. I'm going to play it. Oh, look at your hat, Whitney. It says Who Day on it. Oh,
I tried to
do something. Jerry.
I got this.
Jerry, you missed our show we did for the preview where we were all literally making them. It
was kind of that way again.
Yeah. Kayla's looked like Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. It was beautiful. I loved it. Well, I saved this tweet from Mike Sands, Bengal Sands on Twitter. He's one of my favorite follows. If you like video breakdown, he does great articles. Follow Bengals_Sands. It's my buddy Mike. During the draft, he said, "I want Jeremy Saylor today, but because I have a video on my Twitter hyping him up, I'm sure the Ravens get him." So my conspiracy theory is that the Ravens are so angry about us sweeping them last year that they have been stealing Bengals Sands videos, and they did their draft based on our guys' stuff.
I would buy it. I'm buying it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's weird. Like, everyone was like freaking out about how great the Ravens draft was. And I was like, yawn. Like, seriously, like they don't have a wide receiver, I don't think. So I don't know who. I guess they don't plan on throwing the ball. I don't know. But it's just, it was bizarre to me that everyone was so high on their draft. And I'm like, well, picking late is hard. Sorry, we were so good last year. That's what happened.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like the tiniest bit bad, though, for Jamar losing his BFF on the team. Because I kind of did. I'm sorry. I felt like breaking up like a really special romance.
You said Lamar?
Lamar Jackson. Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't feel bad for him. No.
I
I like Lamar Jackson. I don't feel bad for anybody in the AFC North. It's like,
Nope.
No.
Like,
oh, you're like besties, though. Oh, no.
Apparently not. He wanted to trade last year. He wanted to trade last year, and then this is all coming out now. So I don't know.
And who
I
knows?
guess he didn't tell his bestie.
Lamar Jackson hasn't signed an extension. Like, that's been a big topic this offseason. So I don't know.
And he was tweeting all kinds of stuff during the draft.
He did the WTF tweet.
Yep.
He knew.
It's like my quarterback could never.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't relate.
No.
Ours stays off social media unless he just has something really badass cool to share.
Right. Because he's smart. See, it all comes back down to being smart. He's a smart person. And, I know he's only been in the league, what'll this be, his third year coming up, but he's older than a lot of these guys. He has a master's degree. He's a learned scholar. You know what I mean? Like, he's wiser than these kids that are spouting off with their Twitter and their music. Whatever. But no, he's a lot smarter. He's too smart to do that.
I would not miss Jackson if he left Lamar Jackson if he left the AFC North, though.
Oh, Kyler and Hollywood are apparently best friends and have been for a long time, which is why he wanted to go to the Cardinals. Okay, then. So it's
Oh.
like kind of like in middle school where it's like you thought somebody was your best friend and then you find out they got another best friend.
Yes,
You
and
know
they
what I
get, like,
mean?
they're giving, like, friendship bracelets to everybody,
Right.
not just
And you
you.
didn't get one because everyone thinks you're weird, or maybe that was just me, but okay.
It reminds me of that meme where it's like friendship ended with Lamar. Kyler Murray's my new best friend or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're like, Lamar can't sit with us.
Yeah.
Complicated. Oh
Totally.
my God. Kyler's a mess too. This
Yeah.
offseason.
I mean, it's
I'm
all a
living
mess,
for
I
it.
think.
Lots of drama. I love it.
Greg says, what is your take on Bates not reporting to voluntary workouts? I think people are making too big of a deal of it. I think, Bates isn't the only one not going to voluntary workouts, but people are kind of making something out of that, I think, to stir the pot. And I don't think it means anything. There's, like I said, he's not the only one who's missed. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. But
Yeah,
I
I
see
wasn't
why people,
surprised.
I think he's either going to get a deal done by July or he's not. And I don't know. The thing is that I just don't know enough about the business side of these contracts and these things. And so I'm not going to pretend like I do. I'm not the cap guru. I'm not the, contract guru. I don't know any of that. So I don't even like to speak on it because I really don't know enough about it. But I just feel like, I'll love the guys that are here. And the guys that go, I will, wish them well. And as long as they don't talk crap about us, like some people have after they've left, then, I will wish them nothing but the best. So it's hard for me to even go there mentally at this point, honestly.
We don't have to yet. That's the good news. Like we don't have to go there yet. We still have him this year at the very least. So
Yeah.
All right. Any more conspiracy theories? That was the only one I had. No,
I don't think so.
All right. What else we got? Anybody else got anything? Whitney, you got any game balls? Jerry, you got any predictions?
No, I'm a slacker.
No? That's cool. That's cool. Cap said that I should tell everybody that he's slacking on his video duties and I'm going to dock his pay. I secretly really love all these videos, so I don't really care that they're not new. Like my 2021 highlight video, I'm just going to keep the same until we start playing regular season games because I just really like it, so I don't care. But all right.
Are we doing We Need to Talk?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. I forgot. See, I'm telling you guys. Gotta remind me of these things. All right. Hold on. Let me find that video. I'm out of practice with this too. Here. There it is. Right at the top. Okay. Here we go. We Need to Talk, sponsored by Brimminghorn Meadery. Code Tigress gets you 15% off 2 or more bottles of delicious mead. Go and try every flavor. They're all delicious. All right, Whitney, what do we need to talk about?
So we don't have any international games, guys.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to apologize up front to all of our international fans, and I get it, and I would have loved for us to have a game over there for sure, especially Germany. I really thought we would get
I really hope we do next year. I really want to go to Germany. I've had Germany on my list for a long time, since before COVID, and I would love to go there and meet German Bengals fans. I think that'd be fantastic. So I'm really hoping for next year. But yes, continue.
Well, and I think we make sense. We've talked about this, like just there's such a deep German heritage in Cincinnati. So I think it makes so much sense. So I'm a little sad about that, but I was so freaking relieved we get a Tampa Bay Tigress Talk game. What?
Lumber party's on.
It is so
on.
jammies. Going to Jerry's house. Jammies at Jerry's. And I didn't get to go to the New Orleans game. That was my birthday present.
No way.
That's so exciting.
That is so awesome.
I'm very excited. So yeah, no international games is what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah. And again, no offense to any of our international fans. You know how I feel about you all. I love you dearly. We've laughed and cried together, and I love you very much. But yeah, I am glad that we get to have the Tampa Bay game in Tampa Bay. I'm glad we get to have the New Orleans game in New Orleans. I really love New Orleans. Cap has never been to New Orleans, so we're really excited to go there. We're excited to go to Tampa Bay, and hang out with you ladies in some warm weather. I kind of hope that the Tampa Bay game is somewhere like November, December, because it will be really miserable here and it'll be nice there. And instead of being like okay here and like Satan's back porch over there. I'm kind of hoping for some give and take on that one, but I'll be happy regardless.
Yeah.
Same.
I'm excited for the schedule to come out on the 12th. I will be glued to my TV for sure. So
Yeah. All my planning starts happening as soon
Yep.
as
For
I know,
sure.
me too.
Yeah.
It's funny because like one of our nurse practitioners that I work with is retiring in June. And so she did everybody's schedule. And so me being the idiot that I am said, oh, I'll do the schedule. You know, there's only 6 of us. How hard can it be? And so everyone's taking like huge vacations over the summer and like we're kind of screwed. And I'm like, you know, I'm not going to take a vacation over the summer. And they're like, are you sure you could take a vacation? Like we could work it out. And I'm like, I'm going to save up all my favorites for football season. I will be calling on you guys during football season. And I'm saving up all my favorites till then. So
Yep.
I'll be working out some trades and whatnot. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to this season. You know, it's hard to say, I think, you know, at this point, and I think we'll know more when we get to training camp and all that. But I think, was it Lou Anarumo or was it Darren Simmons who was saying to the guys, like, you know, this isn't a Super Bowl team that was last year. You know, this is our team this year. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing. And I was kind of like, I beg to differ. This is very much like very much the same team. I feel like, you know, obviously we're sad to see Larry go and we're sad to see CJ go. And I'm sorry if I forgot anybody, but those are the 2 main ones that stick out in my mind. But I feel like we have a really good shot at running it back. And I know it's hard to win our division. I think that's going to be the hardest part is winning our division. And then if we can win our division, I think we can win it all, just like Joe said last year. So I really have high hopes for this team, but I have an open mind. And I think that, you know, whatever they do this year, it'll be special and they'll learn from it and they'll keep building on it. And it's going to be, you know, kind of a marathon type thing rather than a sprint back to the Super Bowl. I think it's going to be multiple over the course of the next 10 years. So,
Yeah.
But
I agree.
We definitely got better. I mean, that's all you can really ask for.
I mean, the line got better. So how could you, what more could you really want? You know, like if he can make it to the Super Bowl, getting sacked that many times, he's going to take fewer sacks this year. I guarantee it. I will put money on that. I will guarantee that he will take fewer sacks this year than he did last year. So,
for sure.
Just based on those improvements alone.
You guys ever sit and think about like what it would look like if Joe had like time, like some quarterbacks do, like they have the benefit of a really good O-line and they have like all the time in the world to like let things develop and scramble.
I mean, the last play of the Super Bowl haunts my dreams. I mean, he had Jamar down the field.
I know.
The last play of the Super Bowl. I mean, that haunts me to this day.
I know.
I have a hard time talking about it even now. I mean, seriously, like it would make all the difference in the world. And I believe in these guys, and I believe that they will get back there. Maybe this coming year, maybe the year after, who knows? But I think that the Bengals will win a Super Bowl with Joe Burrow.
Oh yeah.
He will be MVP. He's going to go from comeback player of the year to MVP to, you know, the sky's the limit, in my opinion. And it's funny because I was talking, or I was not talking. They were talking to me. I was listening to Locked On, and they were talking about why people talk about the whole Super Bowl hangover and why it's so hard to get back. And I feel like all of those teams had something in common in that they were either really old guys at the end of their careers, or they were fluky quarterbacks, you know, like Matt Ryan, come on, you know, like Joe Flacco, are you kidding me? Like, what did he do after that? Nothing. So it's like, those were guys, when they talk about flukes, those are the things that I think of. You know, I don't think about the Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings and people like that who have gone back because they really earned it, because they were really, really talented and good. So I feel like that's the big difference. And that's why when people write the Bengals off and say it was a fluke, they'll never be back, you know, they're failing to realize that these guys are young. We had a lot of really productive young guys, especially our receiving core. So I feel like people who say that are just not looking at the whole picture and not looking critically at those other teams and why they couldn't make it back. So
yeah, and you know what? They can underrate us again for another year. That's fine. Our guys know who they are. We know who they are. It's fine. So
It worked out pretty well for us last year that they kept
Exactly.
underestimating us. So
Exactly.
Sure, bet against Joe Burrow. Great idea.
Yeah. Better
actually,
get tweet
please
at him.
do. Yeah.
Tell him you're not going to give him a gold jacket. Wink.
Yeah. Wink, wink. I hope people Martindale us.
We're going to turn that into a verb.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
For sure.
How do you guys feel about the fact that last year we went in with zero expectations? We were just hype about a few of our guys, like Burrow having his first full season and coming back from rehab and all that. Like, how do you feel about the fact that this season we're all going in with totally different expectations? Like, are you cool with it?
My expectations aren't that different because I feel like every year I think we're gonna win the Super Bowl because I'm just crazy. So, for me, I don't think I thought we were gonna win the Super Bowl in preseason when Joseph Osai sacked Tom Brady. So I feel like those were my expectations last year as well. So I feel like my expectations never change. I always believe that with a little luck and a little help with injuries, we can do great things. And I think that if we can stay healthy again this year, which is always a big if, because health is something that is, gosh, it is so fleeting and it is so much. I mean, there's good trainers and there's good technique and there's good things you can do to help prevent injury. But a lot of the times injuries are just accidents. And so it's hard to count on that. But I think if we can stay healthy again, then sky's the limit.
Yeah.
So, and I've been saying that forever because we were so injured up until this past year. We had spent so many years with so many injuries. And I kept saying, if we could just stay healthy, and people said I was crazy and they called it an excuse, and look what we stay healthy and look what happened. So,
yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think, Whitney? Are your expectations different?
Yeah. Hell yeah. We went to the freaking Super Bowl. And so, I just feel like the bar is in a different spot. So last year, if I'm being brutally honest, of course I go in every year optimistic and hoping and thinking the most. But like, if I'm being real, I felt very like it was going to be the most successful season ever if we just made it to the playoffs.
I agree. I agree completely.
Then when we were trending that way, then my only thing was just win one playoff game, like break that curse. And it would be like my Super Bowl. And surely if you were at that game, it felt like we won a Super Bowl. For Bengals. Sure did. That was the energy for sure. Yeah. That was our Super Bowl in a way. But then we kept going and then we made it to the Super Bowl. And then like we've been talking about, they got better this year. And so the AFC is crazy tough. Don't get me wrong. We're not the only team that got better in the AFC either. Sure. So it is like, if we get there again, we will be earning it like we did last year, but it'll be earned and they will be coming for us because we're not under anybody's radar. I don't think anymore now, like actual team wise, but yeah, my standard is higher. Now it's not like, oh my God, if we could just get to the playoffs, I expect we better get to the playoffs, like with this roster, we better win a playoff game if we go to the, so yeah, my standard is in a different spot.
Do you think though that like, remember how we talked about how these guys are too dumb to know that they're not supposed to win? You know what I mean? Kind of a thing, like, in the nicest possible way. Obviously, they're very smart guys. Yeah. But it's funny because it's like when my work emails, my like whoever the head person is that sends my work email. Obviously, I read a lot of work emails, but they always sign us as like, may God bless us with enough foolishness to think we can make a difference in this world. And I feel like that is like what these guys have. They don't care that they're not supposed to go back to the Super Bowl. They don't care that they weren't supposed to win those playoff games. They don't know any better. They don't care. They just want to go out and win right now. And I love that about them. And I think for that reason, we can talk all we want about expectations and what they will and won't do and what's a fluke and what's not. And they're just going to go out there and do the best that they can. So,
yeah.
I think they're even more dangerous now because they know that they can be there. They know the path to get there. They've, pretty much everybody on the team now has been in the Super Bowl, and it's not going to like that excitement of, oh, I can't, like, I hope we can get there. Like, they're like, no, we absolutely can get back there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a swagger and it's in the fan base too. Like if you're a Bengals fan, you get greeted differently. Even in Florida, if I'm wearing like Bengals stuff, you get looked at a little differently.
Really?
Like, okay. Yeah.
It's a little more respect now.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that.
There's some swagger and, on the team for sure. And then I think it spills over to the fan base. Hell yeah.
I think so too, because when the Bengals started doing really well during the season, I started noticing more people wearing Bengals stuff out in the wild. And because I live in Columbus, I feel like I see a lot of Browns fans, I see a lot of Steelers fans, and I didn't see a whole lot of Bengals fans before. And then it's like we started getting really good, and maybe it's just that thing where you're looking for it more. But I really felt like I saw people wearing more Bengals stuff out, and I just made me very happy.
Yeah.
People are proud of this team again.
It was
And I
like
think
used
that's
to
really
if
great.
like you wore Bengal stuff out, especially like if you weren't in Cincinnati, you were ready. Like you almost walked with the posture of like, what you got to say? Like, are you going to say something? What you got to say? But now it's more like, yeah, I know. Like, yeah, we good, we bad. I get it. So it is a whole different vibe, I think. I dig it.
Me too. I love it.
Strut
I
now.
love being a Bengals fan.
So I have we need to talk.
Okay.
So we need to talk about how we are probably not going to get a lot of sleep this season because we are going to have a lot of primetime games. A lot.
Yeah. I don't even know what to make about that because I really like Sunday at 1 p.m. It works for me. It's easy to remember. But yeah, that's exciting. I kind of like selfishly hope that like we have a Monday night game and a Thursday night game home because those are easier to get off work than trading a whole weekend with somebody. So I like secretly hope that we have like a Monday night game and a Thursday night game at home. I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. And the cool thing is that I don't think these guys are scared of the preseason. Like people have said in the past, people were in the past, and I never really agreed with it back then either. But I think these guys definitely thrive in that environment. So bring it on.
Yeah, as a great person that Andy Dalton is, I think we all kind of got very nervous during primetime games because he didn't always play his best. So it's nice to be excited and know that like our quarterback, nothing is too big for him.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I was, that Thursday night game was probably one of my top 10 moments of this past season. So I for sure think that they can do really, really well in a prime time. Yes, prime time game. Forgot. I was like prime season. That's not it. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the game in Tampa here is a primetime game too.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well, that will work for me because I will already be on vacation.
Because they keep having they keep talking about how Joe Burrow and Tom Brady are going to be facing each other this year in the commercials for the NFL.
I love
I'm
it.
like, I feel like they wouldn't be hyping that up if they weren't going to make that a primetime game.
You're right. That's a good thought. I bet you're right.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I can see it.
I want to go to a beach too while I'm there.
Plus, a night game would be so much better. Let me tell you, because it gets very hot
Oh yeah.
during the day.
I
This
know.
is
Well,
real
that'll be the good thing. Like if it's a September game or whatever, that'll be the good thing. If it's at night, it won't be.
No matter what month it is, it'll still be great at night in Florida. Yeah.
Like
Even
if
it's
into
December.
Yeah.
Oh really? Oh man.
It'll be great.
Okay.
Like if it's in the 60s in December, you'll see like Floridians in like full winter gear. But
I would be in
anybody
full
from
winter
Ohio,
Yeah.
they'll be.
No,
in
I'm the
shorts
same.
still.
I think I'm like a true Floridian at heart because whenever I go, sometimes I go visit my my parents are snowbirds, and sometimes I go visit them down there in the winter months. And if it's 50 degrees, I'm wearing my North Face. So I fit in well. I don't like to be cold. We're talking about the girl who lined her entire outfit with hot hands. With the kind that are for your lap. I was like literally sandwiching them in my snow pants. So, no, I don't like to be uncomfortable and cold.
That was on point, Jess. It was good.
Hey, that worked really well, and I'm really happy. Jerry, I'm forever indebted to you for telling me about that because that was the best idea ever. And I am like going to stock up on hot hands for this coming season.
Yeah, those things are awesome.
They're so great. They're so hot.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else have anything they need to talk about? I don't. I'm just excited to see you guys again and hang out with everybody. And I'm excited to see what we do for training camp. I hope that they will have an event maybe like last year, maybe more than last year. You know, last year they had the welcome back day. Well, I forget what they called it. I kept saying it wrong last year. I'm probably still saying it wrong, but it was basically like a welcome back to everybody, you know, after COVID and everything else. But I hope they'll do something like that in the stadium. I hope maybe they'll do a family day. And then I hope that they'll just kind of open up training camp the way that it used to be in
Yeah.
the past, where you could just go stand by the little rope and wait for everybody to come down, and everybody signed your stuff. And half the guys, you know, you didn't know and they didn't make the team, and you got something signed with their name on them anyways. But, you know, that was like the best part of training camp. You know, you get a sunburn. It's a great time. But so I hope that they'll do stuff like that again.
Wes
this
and
year.
Kayla, you guys are going to be special correspondents for us at some
Yeah.
point in camp, right?
Yeah, we will. We've already got the microphone situation set up. Apparently, I'm not allowed to have a working microphone. Caleb will only give me the broken one, which I totally don't disagree with. But we'll figure something out. It's gonna be great. So
I feel like you should have Ivy toddle around somewhere, just holding a microphone.
Yeah.
'Cause It's as big
Bigger
as
microphone
she
with a
is.
little flag on
I
it.
bet a player would talk to her.
Yeah.
Her questions she would ask would be incoherent, but that's okay.
I don't care.
So
You
are
can
mine.
translate for her.
I'm trying to get her to say "Who Day" so bad, but she
Oh.
just smiles when I say it, like, "Oh yeah, you did a good job," and I'm like, "No, I want you to say it."
That's funny.
It's the next
When my
step.
niece was like 2, she would say, "Oh yeah, oh yeah," all the time. And it was funny because my brother-in-law, he went to OU, and that's her whole thing, OU, oh yeah, or whatever. So they all thought that was great.
That's awesome.
Anyway, all right. Well, thank you everybody for watching, and thank you again to Bridget for coming on and talking with us. And don't forget to subscribe. We are giving away an awesome game worn Von Bell jersey when we get to 1,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone who has followed us on Twitter and subscribed already. So keep them coming. Make sure you like, share all the things, and check out Birmingham Meadery. And I don't know when we're gonna do another show, but it'll be maybe after the schedule. Maybe we'll do one after the schedule. Maybe next week or the week after. Does that sound good?
We'll do some game
All
planning.
right. Well, Who Day, everybody.
Who day?
Who Day. Bye.
Bye, guys.